everybody, Steven here, and today looking at a movement that I really like doing with my clients. This is a suitcase carry, high knee marches, right? You can organize that however you want to in terms of the name. This is really just a description of what we're doing. So we're doing a suitcase carry, meaning there is load on one side of the body, and then I'm doing high knee marches. So I'm coming up like this, and with this, we're gonna do a walking pattern. You could march in place if you wanted to. You don't actually have to walk, but if you're propelling forward, you're gonna get a little bit more out of it, just because when we walk, you need that push off through the hip. But you need something, dumbbell, kettlebell. You could just have a backpack full of weight. You need something that has weight, and you're gonna keep it at the side. Now, once we're here, one of the things that I like to point out is I'm not letting this load pull me to the side. I'm keeping my shoulders squared up. I'm also not letting my shoulder blade drop. So I actually have to load my shoulder blade up a little bit. I'm going to have links in the description for some of the other things that I'm going to talk about here that I think you need to apply to this. One of the big ones is intra-abdominal pressure, breathing deep into the belly as I do this. So in terms of maintaining position, that's great. Holding this in terms of a loaded shoulder, long through my spine. But intra-abdominal pressure, I'm working these deeper layers to the midsection. Deep breath in, and then I can start the movement. And there's going to be a difference between doing the contralateral knee, the opposite knee, and the ipsilateral knee, the same side knee. This, right, versus this. So in terms of where is the most drive, so as I raise this knee up, it's the same knee as where the load is, but this opposite leg is working. So in terms of load, this is contralateral. In terms of just weight versus side that lifts, that would be ipsilateral, right? But if I go this way, in terms of what's working, this leg is holding me up. The weight is over here. This is ipsilateral, okay? From the side, deep breath in, knee comes up. We use internal tension, we call this a radiation, to drive structure through this. So as I'm here, I'm going to start to build tension through my body. You will have already set some of this up by making sure that you're loaded, because it takes tension through the body. As I'm here, deep breath in, I'll make a fist with the other hand. Breathe into the belly, up, right? I want to bring this as high as I can. Pull forward through the heel, place. Shift, I'm pushing through this opposite glute. And now, deep breath in again, because I've exhaled as I've come down, or once I put my foot down. Deep breath in, up, and then place, and then shift forward. And I'll go through my gait cycle, my walking pattern. With this, the foot is key. I have videos on why I choose minimal footwear, making sure that the foot is strong. If you can, and you're like, well, I don't have minimals, go barefoot. Look at what your feet are doing. Look specifically at what your arch is doing and your toes. I'm training my foot to be strong. That way everything else upstream is stronger. I'm training these deeper levels of the midsection so that actually this core, if you want to call it the core, my midsection is very, very strong. And as I'm utilizing the musculature here, the deeper layers to this, getting into those deep layers includes your QL, your quadratus lumborum back here. Now my spine is going to get the benefit from that as well. Because if I don't have this internal pressure to match this external load, it's going to go to part of my skeletal system to find support, right? So now as I lift up here, drive through the foot all the way up through the system. And then typically I'll go distance or amount of strides. If I was to do marches just in place, boom, you'd see me shift, boom, and I could do reps, and I could do 10, 16, 20. It's going to be odd because obviously you have to do a count per side. And so with this, down and back, and then I would switch the hands, right? Or the set amount of reps, and then I would switch to the other hand. A ton of benefits. The big ones that I'm thinking about here though, foot, my root, right? The thing that's connecting me to the earth. The arch is an action of the foot, not a part. There's not an arch bone. So I'm thinking about how can I create that, right? That external rotation of my foot a little bit, which means my knee is more stable. Coming up, my hip, center point, I'm flexing through that glute to make sure that I'm stable, making sure that the midsection is stable through the intra-abdominal pressure, then staying tall, shoulders are loaded. An insane amount of benefit. I'm using it to train somebody's foot, to help with their hip and their knee, and then to help intra-abdominal pressure, and so that they know how to stay tall through the body, right? Lots of benefit with this one. If you have any questions on this, let me know in the comment section. I incorporate this typically with my knee and foot slash ankle clients. And then if I'm doing it with any of my strength training people, it's usually tied to like dead bugs or heavy lifts so that I'm cueing this intra-abdominal pressure to be stronger, but I'm also still getting that benefit through the foot and everything else. So you can place this with a lot of different things, but the big one is make sure that foot is stable. Make sure you're squeezing that glute, right? You're driving that tension through there and you have that intra-abdominal pressure, all while staying very, very tall through the spine. That's going to be it for this one. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. 10, 16, 20 reps if I'm marching in place, or 15, 20 feet down and back. It's a distance that you could do. I'm attaching it. I'm usually doing 2 or 3 rounds with this. So that's going to be it for this one. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.